Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead tarot scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. Your key to the week this week is the Justice card. So this week you are finally making a choice. This is where you are setting something into motion. Now it doesn't have to be that you're launching something out into the world, but it does suggest that this week you are hunkering down to make something happen. This is where you really are committing to something, potentially signing on the dotted line, although remember your ruler Mercury is going to go retrograde at the end of this month into the new year. That being said, it does look like you are really like you're ready this week to make a certain commitment. For some of you, I actually feel like this is a commitment to yourselves rather than anybody else. This also suggests to me that you are looking at the paperwork, some kind of legality. Maybe you're looking over the technicalities of something as well. For a lot of you, it looks like you are looking for a loophole, and if anybody's going to find it, it will be the Gemini. With that said, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options this week, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So you really are getting serious about your money, your finances, your resources. It looks like you're paying special attention to your self-care this week. So that promise or that commitment that you've made to yourself this week, it looks like it's about your self-care, how you nurture, nourish, and maybe not so much nurture, but definitely how you nourish yourself, how you look after your physical well-being. This week, I think you're going to be paying a lot of attention to that. And for some of you, this might be a time where you're putting in place, or at least building a plan of new ways to look after yourself so that you can fulfill all of the amazing things that you want to fulfill over this sort of however long ahead, right? The other thing in terms of your options, there is an opportunity for you to proliferate either a service, a product, maybe to hit your boss up for a raise. This would be a really good week to sow the seed. All right, maybe you go into your boss and say, look, in the new year, I'd like to talk about my salary. What's it going to take, right? So that you're already kind of letting them know this is where things are going. We'll be talking about this later, or we'll also be talking about my resignation. Go Gemini. All right, for your communications and conversations, you have the Four of Swords. You've got this with the Justice card. So in terms of setting things forward, right? So first things first, when it comes to your communication this week, it is slower, right? Remember, everybody, maybe not me. As you know, I talk very fast and I talk a lot. But pretty much everybody communicates, talks, thinks slower than a Gemini. All right. It's part of what makes you you. And so this week, if you're not getting answers at the rate or the speed that you want them, try to curb the frustration. All right. That's something that it will really help you this week. If you can kind of say to yourself, okay, replies and responses are probably going to be a bit slower this week. I'll hold off for now. When for those of you that are interested, the winter solstice is on the 21st of December at 7 p.m. Every year for the last 4, this is going to be the 5th year I hold a winter solstice alignment activation session. I love this. I love the get together. It's amazing. I've got a very special guest, Denise Matthew. For those of you that were there last year, you know she brought a bonanza of information to do with human design and how that was going to be affecting us over the year. And I would say we made some predictions that we pretty much saw. So if you want to get your seat, you can do that on the link in the description box below, or one of those little things that floats above my head. Absolutely, you want to be there. Tickets are £33.33. It's been the same price for the last 4, now 5 years. I like to keep this accessible so that we can get as many people here, so that more people means more amplification of energy. And the 21st of December is the right time to set your resolutions, to set your intentions, as opposed to the 31st of December or the 1st of January. This is the time to do it. And we'll also be utilizing future life progression so that you can have a look at what your 2023 looks like ahead of time. Given that this is going to be a weird and wonderful year, trust me, you want to be there. So for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, I kind of get the feeling that you're looking at your studies and asking yourself, do I actually want to continue with this? And if I do, what needs to change. So I think this is not only a moment of honesty with yourself, but I think in a lot of ways you're giving yourself a moment to kind of breathe from everything that you've taken on board, from everything that you've learned up until now, to ask yourself, is this actually still the right path for me? Sometimes in the course of what we're doing, our minds change, right? For those of you that are employed by somebody else, pick your moment, right? There will be a moment this week where you can speak to a boss or a superior. You're, like I said, you're just planting the seed at this point. There's no big sort of plan for it. You're just planting the seed, but this could be a really good time to formulate what it is that you want to say in order to get what you need from the year ahead. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this is a week where I think a lot of you are taking it easy. I think for a lot of you as well, this is a week where you're probably going to be formulating your next iteration of your business. So there's a lot of, I mean, there's always a lot of mental activity going on for you guys, but there's a lot of thought about what you're truly committed to creating or building when it comes to your business. I'm actually very excited to see what you guys come up with. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, go for a spa day. Go for it, right? If there's no time like the right now to start your self-care. Every single moment of every single day should have at least some thought of, how can I look after myself? All right. It's not just as simple as, well, I eat, I somewhat sleep, and, I somewhat rest. It's got to be more than that. How are you nourishing yourself on that mind, body, spirit level? For your love and relations, you've got the Moon card. You know what I'm going to say, especially with the Four of Swords here. You are going to hear from someone from your past this week. The Moon card, it brings things and people and situations from the past. You've got this with the Justice card. For a lot of you, maybe you're kind of saying, you know what? I'm determined to do this differently from here on in. This is how things are going to proceed from here on in. And I actually really like this. I think there's a moment of sort of pure honesty for you that really kind of allows you to say, this is what didn't work previously and this is how it's affecting the present. And for a lot of you, if somebody does come back into your world this week, it's so that you can really cement those understandings that you've learned. Because you've got the Four of Swords in the communications, I'm not saying don't speak to this person. What I am saying is observe what they say to you when they come back around. Have they really changed? Have they really adapted or evolved? Are they still in the same place? Do they want you back because they're just reaching for a life raft? Whatever it might be, you have to make yourself still and quiet enough to see what it really is, all right? You know what's up. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, if you have had a recurring problem, challenge, or issue come up in a relationship, this week, it's not quite the Queen of Wands, but this week you are going to have to start establishing different routines. All right, maybe not boundaries, but definitely saying to your significant other, you know what? If every time you see these friends, you're going to come home and be a bit of a dick, and that's whether you're a man, woman, however you identify, then we're going to have to talk about this. If every time you have a drink, you are mean or cruel or whatever, like there's something here where you're having to look at the routines or the cycles or the patterns that play out in the relationship. And I kind of feel like you are committed to walking forward. And for some of you, this might be kind of you saying, listen, you know what, get this together, or we're going to have to talk about how we move forward. For your money and materials, you have the Ace of Wands, new money making ideas, new money making endeavors and enterprises. With the Four of Swords, it's not ready for launch yet. It's just in the beginning sort of amplifying stage. This is where you're planting seeds. It's where you're creating things, where you're having fun, just kind of throwing splashes of color on the canvas and really figuring out, okay, how can I use this to my best advantage? All right. Because you've got the Justice card here as well, I want to say to you, give yourself some leeway. Like, don't just create something and then say, yeah, no, it's this and it has to just be this. leave it a bit more open. You're a mutable air sign. You're like the epitome of air, all right? For your physical health and vitality, this is a great card for health and vitality. It's energy, passion, desire, sexuality, raw potency. Because you've got the Queen of Pentacles here, if for those of you that maybe have slacked a little on the exercise, etc., this could be a time, says Raph, this could be a time where you're kind of, we can joke like that. I'm good, don't worry about it. So like this could be a week where you say, right, you know what, even before New Year's resolutions and all the rest of it, I'm going to get back to doing a little bit now. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, I like this for those of you that are renewing leases, contracts around home, etc. This could be a time where you are sort of really going for it. And, you know, it looks like for some of you, maybe you decide to stay put. All right, so not a bad thing at all. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up, and I would love to see you at the winter solstice. Take care, and I'll see you soon.